Welcome back to Ballmer's Workshop. Thanks so much for joining us here once again. It is always great to have you back. This time, Judy's going to clean out the interior of our new little beast, and we're going to have a very good look from front to back underneath and give it a bit of an inspection.
It's very satisfying.
Is it?
It is. I'm enjoying it.
That is some serious grossness.
Yes. It's a shame. It's a shame that people do this. I just can't even fathom it.
Ah, the joys of cleaning out a vehicle which has been used for months, if not years, to house chicken feed and the like. I'm glad that Judy's putting up with it. She's a trooper and she's doing a fine job.
It is amazing what a little bit of cleaning can do. So Judy spent a little bit of time vacuuming out the old Sidekick, and like I said, what a difference. Much nicer. These seats are pretty darn salvageable, I think, and even the carpet is probably pretty salvageable. Door panels will all be good, dash will be good. Headliner, although it's kind of deformed from the fact that the roof has been smashed in by having 4 feet of snow on it, is actually pretty well intact. So I think we can salvage this thing quite completely. Very happy with that. A big thanks to Judy. And now we'll bring it in the shop and look at some of the mechanical stuff, give it an oil change, have a look underneath, see what we're up against, and we'll pull off this big old tow bar as well, because it will never be needed again. All right. It's up on the hoist, and it's mostly good news. The frame itself is really solid from front to back, and as far as oil leaks and stuff go, she's a little kind of, there's old residual oil all over there. You can see there's a bit of a fresh leak from up there, but nothing major. A little wet in there, not terrible. But if you look at the exhaust here, here's this big wet patch that's still left that was kind of smoking away and burning off. I think once that's completely burned off, we won't have a lot of more smoke issues. And for the most part under here, it looks good. I mean, it's dirty and crusty, and there's bits of grass and mud and stuff hanging out from everywhere, and there's some rusty fittings and stuff here and there, but actually it's pretty clean rust-wise. We've got a couple holes in the floor, one back here. This body mount is really rotted out. Not surprising considering the damage that this rocker has taken, so no surprise there. The exhaust is super crusty looking, but it actually sounds quiet and decent. The cross member that supports the upper links for the rear suspension is in great shape, as is the cross member that supports the fuel tanks. On the 2 doors, these cross members are really, really suspect. On the 4 doors, they usually are in pretty decent shape, as mine is here. We'll put a new fuel filter in pretty soon. Here's a big hole in the exhaust that I didn't notice. We'll have to sort that out. Rear brakes are all free. Front brakes drag a little bit, but so we'll probably want calipers and rotors on it, I would imagine. But not a lot else to speak of. We'll pull this tow bar off shortly. We'll pull that old broken light out of there, and we'll give it an oil change. I'm going to warm it up before we give it an oil change, as is the correct procedure. And we'll get on to that, but I'm pretty impressed. It looks solid under here. You know, some places where you normally get a lot of rust, like right in here where the rear passenger's legs would be, is very often all rotted. This floor pan is often rotten, but in mine, not so bad. Really big hole in the inner rocker there, but the rest of the rocker seems pretty decent, so I'm happy with that. Another rust hole by this cross member, but these things aren't too hard to patch. These haven't, this mount itself hasn't collapsed. We've got some rust up here, but it hasn't collapsed. So everything's in its correct position. So it's really just a matter of patching it and reinforcing it to make it solid again. Don't have to correct a lot else, so that's cool. I'm always leery of these plastic rocker covers because generally underneath them is just rot. But we'll pull these off eventually and we'll find that out. At this point, we don't know what we're up against. But overall, really impressed with this thing, actually. looking forward to this project. Yay!
Yay, me too.
Jesus. Well, it wasn't going to fall out.
Yay!
No more tow bar.
That's perfect. Wow.
Handy item, but not for me and you, my dear.
Nope. I agree.
All right, well, now we can get it up in the air and we can get rid of these mounts and do an oil change. There we go, oil changed, a day done. Ugly old tow bar removed. And tomorrow, Judy will come back to the shop and give it a wash down, scrub the interior out, and we'll remove those tow bar mounts and move on from there. But a good first day with the little red devil, or the lady in red, or the whatever you guys name it.
We're still playing with it.
Nice one.
Yes, and no smoke.
And no smoke. Absolutely no smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And quieter.
Quieter, no smoke, running smooth. Idles come down a little bit. We'll have to work on that. It might just be that the throttle linkage is all gummy and needs loosening up. So who knows? We looked for some vacuum leaks, didn't find much that way. Maybe you have some advice for us.
Yes.
And the cleaning continues. Judy has been here most of the day.
Yes, the cleaning saga is almost coming to an end. Just this one panel and then we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a difference. Look at all this.
Before and then after.
If the audio is crummy, it's because we're not using mics right now, so you'll have to rely on the camera microphone, but it should be good enough. Look at that. Clean as a whistle, almost like new.
Mm-hmm.
What a difference. It is much better now. Just look at that. Beautifully clean. Hooray! Thank you so much, my dear.
Oh, you're very welcome. My pleasure. This was fun to see it transform right before my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I'm excited to see the outside yet, and I think she will look gorgeous by the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be a big transformation for this dirty old chicken coop. Right on. All right, I'll leave you to it.
Almost there. Almost there.
Thanks, my dear. Well, the fixing has begun. I have purchased a new steering shaft, which included the ignition, and that's of course the part that I needed. So I have started to install it. I've taken off the plastics from around the steering column. Now we'll remove the steering wheel itself via the center bolt there. We'll get rid of the signals and wiper switches, and then I think it's pretty clear to pull the column out after that. Luckily I did get the right kind. I got an automatic one which has the little cable on it, which I'll show you in just a minute. But exciting times. Judy's on her way over and we're gonna do this together. She's excited to work on as much as she can with me, which is cool. Always nice to have support and enthusiasm with these jobs. So we'll pull this column out today and get a new one in. It's probably a better day to actually wash this thing, but we'll get a steering column in it instead, just because I'm excited to do so and have a proper ignition that we can operate with its own key. Hooray! One thing I forgot to mention that I should have is this odd little thing that's happening. Initially, when I took the cover off of the steering column, the cover that's over there, when I would touch certain areas, I'd hear a clicking, an electrical clicking, like a solenoid or a relay. That seems to have stopped. However, if I touch the steering wheel and just push on it, listen carefully, there's a relay sound. Now, the horn does not work, and to me, it sounds like, or it makes me think that it would be a horn relay perhaps that's being triggered. My buddy Sean has just stopped by, who you've met before if you've watched a lot of my videos, and he thinks it is the horn relay. It's an interesting thing. I can find the relay. It is, no, I can't find it. I'll have to hold you back here and make the noise and feel at the same time. Yeah, so basically, my fingers are on it. I don't know if you can see it there, but there's two relays up in there. It is one of them. I'm guessing it is the horn relay. And rather than try to, and the reason why I'm guessing that is it's probably just a dead horn on that relay. I just can't imagine any other relays other than a turn signal relay, which works correctly, that would be attached to the steering column. So, except for wipers, I guess, but I can't imagine it would be that. I think it's going to be the horn. Anyway, what I'm hoping is once I remove this, I'll find the wiring for the horn, and maybe it's sitting in, it's sitting loose in behind there and it's contacting every time I just barely touch the wheel, and we can sort that out. But if it happens once we put the new column in, I'll definitely have to do some more investigation. As always, a big thumbs up to you for making it to the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching. It is greatly appreciated. If you feel that we're worthy of a like or a subscription, we would love that too. We will catch you next time, where we are going to work on that steering column that we started on, and we are going to pop that roof out as best we can as well, which should be an interesting endeavor. See you next time. Thanks again so much. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. See you soon.